Bakery, Food Court, Aisha Mart.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Our session is about to begin. Please have a nice seat. Thank you.
Good morning, distinguished guests, respected professors, keynote speaker, and all the participants.
1, 2, 3. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are Bung Sudi
And Devi,
your master of ceremony for today. We'd like to greet Professor Brian Yuliarto, ST, MH, PhD, as the Minister of Higher Education, Science and Technology of the Republic of Indonesia.
Professor Dr. Renat Ahmad Beni Mutiara, the Chairman of the Association of Higher Education in Informatics and Computer Science.
Professor Husni Teja Sukmana, the Secretary General of the Association of Higher Education in Informatics and Computer Science.
Professor Dr. Isha Iskandar MSc, the Head of the Higher Education Service Institute Region 2.
Mr. Rahmat Mirzani Jausal, ST, MM, as the Governor of Lampung.
Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Herwan bin Sulaiman, the keynote speaker of the 10th ICIC.
Mr. Isnaidi Guswantoro, as the advisor to the Aisha Lampung Foundation.
Dr. Sukarni, ST MKes Chairperson of the Asia Lampung Foundation.
Dr. Fitriana, SST MKes, as the Secretary of the Aisha Lampung Foundation.
Dr. Sutrisno, Eskop Nurse MAN, as the Rector of Universitas Aisyah Pringsewu, along with his distinguished board members.
Dr. Insinyur Zulkifli Asti, MCom, CDS, CSP, as the Dean of the Faculty of Technology and Informatics of Universitas Aisyah Pringsewu.
Dr. Yusuf Durrahman MSc MIT, the Chairman of the 10th ICIC 2025.
All the distinguished touring and program committee of the 10th ICIC 2025.
And also all the presenters and the presenters.
Welcome to the 10th International Conference on Informatics and Computing 2025. Please give a warm applause.
We would like to present the main agenda for today's conference.
The first session will be about welcome report from the conference chair, followed by the welcoming speech. We will then proceed with the keynote presentation, which forms the core of our seminar. After that, the next agenda is for oral session.
The last agenda is we will announce the best paper and best presenter award, then followed by a closing ceremony. We encourage all participants to attend every session of this conference.
For a moment, we would like to invite you to rise and sing Indonesian anthem, Indonesia Raya. All the audience, please stand up. You may all be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take a moment for unified prayer. I humbly invite Dr. Amaruddin MH to lead us in a moment of reflection and seeking the guidance. For Dr. Amaruddin MH, time is yours.
The Honorable Chair of ATICOM, the Honorable Chair of International Conference on Informatics and Computing ICIC 2025, distinguished speakers and all participants of ICIC 2025. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let us take a moment to offer our prayer to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the most merciful, the most wise. We hope all the recognized ATICOM and ICIC 2025 will run smoothly. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Hamdan syakirin, hamdan na'imin, hamdan yuwafi ni'amahu wa yukafi'u mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali karim wa 'azimi sultanik. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. Allahumma inna nas'aluka salamatan fid din wa afiatan fil jasadi wa ziyadatan fil ilmi wa barakatan fi rizqi wa taubatan minal maut wa rahmatan indal maut wa maghfiratan ba'dal maut. Allahumma hawwin alaina fi sakaratil maut wa najatan minan nar wal maf'an indal hisab. Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaitana wa hab lana min ladunka rahmah innaka antal wahhab. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minadh dhalimin. Oh Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, on this blessed day we give thanks for all the blessing, heart and opportunities you have bestowed upon us, so that we can gather together for the recognized ATICOM and ICIC 2025. We ask you Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to guide us throughout this series of activities so that they run smoothly, orderly and peacefully. Grant us a clear mind, sense heart and the enthusiasm to share knowledge and experience in the advancement of education, research and technology in Indonesia. Keep us free from all obstacles and problems, and make this activity a means of strengthening collaboration and academic brotherhood, both on the national and international level. Oh our God Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, allow the result of this activity to bring about benefit to the nation, state and humanity. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we officially begin the conference, let us watch a montage video to know more about the International Conference on Informatics and Computing. We kindly ask you to direct your attention to the screen.
move to the next station. As the host of this conference, the chairman will be delivering the welcome report. Ladies and gentlemen, please warm welcome to Dr. Yusuf Durrahman, MSc MIT. For Dr. Yusuf Durrahman, MSc MIT, time is yours.
To Honorable Chairman of Opticom, Prof. Aben, Ahmad Ben Mutiara, penasihat kita, Pak Bas, Prof. Heri, welcome. To Honorable Chair, Secretary General Prof. Husni Teja Sukmana, fellow friends from ICIC AS who joined by Zoom. To Honorable and Keynote Speaker, Prof. Herwan bin Sulaiman from University Malaysia. Welcome, Prof. My fellow friends and colleagues from UAP, University PSU, Senior, especially honor to Professor Lisa, who also attend by Zoom, who is really responsible for the process of level quality, and to all presenters and participants of ICIC 2025. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome, Prof. Eko. Prof. Eko, the first chairman of Opticom. In front, Prof. Eko. As a chairman of the National Committee, allow me to do some reporting related to the conference. ICIC 2025 is the 10th annual conference by Opticom. It is a special event in conjunction with the Rakornas and Sanastik, which is first time being held in the year of 2016 in the Titik Air of Lombok. We have been then moved to Papua, we have been Palembang, Semarang, in Jakarta 2 times by Zoom during the COVID times, then moved to Bali during the Munas right, in Bali, Malang, and the last year in Medan, and now we are in Lampung now. So ICIC 25. The output of the conference is a publication in IEEE Explore, which is in Scopus and Web of Science. You can check it in the Web of Science and Scopus. ICIC, one of the prominent conference in Indonesia, and I'm also proud to tell you that this conference gave a great impact to the Opticom members and lecturers in Indonesia. In terms of numbers of document Scopus in Web of Science, we have been this year is the 10 ICIC 2025. There are 401 paper submission and only 200 papers accepted, which is around 50% read only. The accepted paper will be presented in one of the 13 regular track and parallel session. Four track on site and the rest is virtual. The committee is given 30 days or 1 month given by IEEE to submit the whole reporting and to support publication. And after 1 month, hopefully will be published in IEEE Explore, and later a few weeks will be indexed in Scopus. The diversity of the authors come from 16 different countries: Albania, Australia, Bangladesh, India, Iran, Japan, Kenya, Malaysia, Nepal, Russia, Sri Lanka, Taiwan, USA, and of course, the majority is Indonesian authors. Highly selected papers after revision will be considered for inclusion in 3 different international Scopus journals. On behalf of the organizers, I wish to extend warm welcome and would like to thank for all keynote speakers, Irwan bin Sulaiman from Pahang, reviewers, authors, committees for the effort and guidance contribution to the valuable support. And very big thanks to the whole sponsor and host, especially for the UAP in Lampung. Finally, thanks to the National Committee, my colleague and my partner, Pak Husni, Ibu Dewi, Bu Santi, Ibu Sinta, Pak Saiful, Pak Herlino, Pak Sobri, and members from Akiko Lampung, Teknokrat, UAP, and Institut Teknologi Lampung, Institut Teknologi Sumatera. Last but not least, very big thanks for all session chairs. There are 13 session chairs, including Prof. Henry from Raharja, and all assistant chairs, for the all students. Thanks very much for your effort and your support. To the all parties, directly indirectly made this event successful. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for Mr. Dr. Yusuf Durrahman for the conference report.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to listen to the welcoming speech from the chairman of the Association of Higher Education in Informatics and Computer Science. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Dr. Renat Ahmad Beni Mutiara.
Oke, selamat pagi, Honorable Profesor Eko, Honorable Prof. Abbas ya, Honorable Prof. Eri, General Secretary Prof. Husni, and also Prof. Yusuf Durrahman. Yusuf Durrahman, and also Rector of ICIC in Seoul ya, University untuk Faculty Member, and also respected guest speaker, Profesor Muhammad Herwan, and also Honorable Researcher, Kolega, and ladies and gentlemen. Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, and everyone, welcome to all of you. This conference will be the 10th conference of ICIC. This is the main conference of KOM, Asosiasi Pendidikan Tinggi Informatika dan Komputer. And then here it is a great honor to prepare for me to deliver this welcome address at the International Conference on Informatics and Computing 2025. On behalf of APICOM, Organizing Committee, and our host institution, I would like to extend our heartfelt greeting to all distinguished participants, both those join us here today, and those attending virtually around the world. Yeah? This year's conference marked an important milestone, a decade of ICIC, Mr. Yusuf, yeah? To advancing knowledge, yeah, research and collaboration in the field of informatics and computing. Over the past 10 years, ICIC has served as a platform for researchers, practitioners, and academics to share ideas, foster innovation, and strengthen international cooperation in international and digital information. Through ICIC 2025, we hope to explore strategy and research findings that can empower a nation to build secure, with them, yeah, adaptive and future-ready digital ecosystems. I believe that insights shared in this conference will inspire new innovation and strengthen the collaboration between academic, industry, and government toward a safer and more resilient digital future. Allow me to express my sincere appreciation to the organization. General Chair, thank you for you. Thank you for me. Our partner institution, Pringsewu University, thank you very much for the host. Sponsor and contribution who had work and dedication have made this event possible. I don't see Mr. Niza. Where is he? Online, attending online. Thank you. Thank you for Prof. Niza as the chair of the field. Prof. Henry is one of this. Prof. Henry, where is over there? Okay, thank you. And finally, I hope this conference will be good running. So may this conference bring fruitful discussion and meaningful collaboration and impactful contribution to global community. Thank you very much. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, Professor Dr. Rahmat Ahmad Beni Mutino, please stay on the stage. Yeah.
Please warm welcome to the welcome for the guests from ICIC, respected Professor Ladies and gentlemen, we have found out an appreciation of presentation. We would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Insinyur Zulkifli. It will be represented by Mr. Fahri Adi and Dr. Yusuf Nurrahman to kindly come forward for the presentation of the seminar. The first session will be presented by the chairman of Antico.
This token symbolize our deepest appreciation actually for your valuable contribution and inspiring presentation during today's conference. Please give applause. Photo session, please. Okay.
The Faculty of Technology and Informatics, Universitas ICIC.
One more.
For our second photo session, we would like to invite the chairman of Antico, our keynote speaker, the host of this event, and the chairman of ICIC to come forward and face the screen for the photo. And our presenters should be please stand up.
One more time for all audience, please stand up to take a photo. University from Taiwan, please join with our camera. Okay. Please come up. Come up. Yeah. Apticom. Okay, the videos.
Apticom! Video. Apticom! 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 Jaya, jaya, jaya.
Applause. Please find your seat. Please find your seat so we can get right back to our next session.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to one of the most important parts of our cover Opticas conference today, the keynote session.
In this session, we will listen valuable insight from distinguished experts in the field of learning, technology, and innovation. The keynote speaker is Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Herwan bin Sulaiman from University Malaysia, Pahang.
To guide us in this session, we are honored to introduce our moderator, Mr. Hafiz Budi Feromansa, SCOM MSc, PhD as the lecturers from Universitas Institute Teknologi Sumatera. For Mr. Hafiz, time is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to ICIC. The name is quite unique. ICIC. We have seen after this. Please give a big applause to the committee. International Conference and Computing ICIC at Rakornas Apticom 2025. I am Hafiz Budi Firmansyah. I from Institute Teknologi Sumatera. I will be moderating this keynote session. It is a great pleasure to be here. First of all, I would like to extend my warmest welcome to our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Muhammad Herwan Sulaiman from University Malaysia Pahang, and also all participants. Before starting the session, let me briefly introduce our keynote speaker. Professor Muhammad Herwan Sulaiman is an expert in artificial intelligence, computational intelligence, optimization, algorithm, and data analytics. He currently serves as an associate professor at University Malaysia Pahang. He is well known as the inventor of two nature-inspired optimization algorithms called Barnacle's Mating Optimizer or BMO and the Evolutionary Mating Algorithm or EMA. Today, he will deliver a special keynote entitled From Population-Based to Cognitive-Inspired Optimization for Adaptive AI Systems. In this talk, Professor Herwan will discuss how optimization techniques have evolved from population-based meta-heuristic to the more adaptive CPS or cognitive perturbation search and its impact in various real-world applications. I would like to invite Professor Dr. Muhammad Herwan Sulaiman to the stage. Professor, the floor is yours. Please give it a big applause.
Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Herwan bin Sulaiman is a faculty member at University Malaysia Pahang, specializing specializing in computer science and information technology with a strong focus on optimization algorithms, artificial intelligence, computational intelligence, and data analytics. His scholarly work emphasizes the application of methoristic methods and intelligent systems to solve real-world industrial and engineering problems. Over the years, he has published extensively in reputable Scopus and IC-indexed journals and international conference proceedings, contributing to the advancement of computational techniques. Beyond his publication, Dr. Muhammad Herwan plays an active role in the academic community as a member of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineer, IEE, where he has served as a reviewer, technical committee member, and session chair in numerous IEEE-sponsored conferences. His engagement with IEEE not only strengthens his research visibility but also fosters global collaboration and knowledge exchange.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All greetings and very good morning. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabbihi ajma'in. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Yusuf Abdul Rahman and the organizing committee of ICIC 2025 for the kind invitations for me to speak at this conference. It is truly an honor to be part of the meaningful event. So I would like also to acknowledge the leadership of Apticom, especially Professor Dr. Ahmad bin Mudera, the chairman of Apticom, along with all the key figures and partners institutions who have made this event possible, including the university leaders and government representatives involved in Rakonas Apticom 2025. Okay, it is a privilege to join all of you today to share my insights and humbly to share my speech, the role of AI and optimization in the shaping of future communication systems. I hope this session more on sharing and open to the collaborations within our research as well as any future collaborations. Okay, my name is Muhammad Herwan Sulaiman. So basically, our university, I think around last 2 years, just changed, not changed, just add the name of our Sultan, Sultan Abdullah. Okay, so the name now is University Malaysia Pahang. Sultan Abdullah. So we add the name of our Sultan. Okay. So my title today that I want to share is from population based to the cognitive inspired optimization for adaptive AI systems. Basically, I just want to share my our research that have been done in AI, especially in energy, and then we more to rate in terms of the research studies. Okay, as been given the theme, so the theme is the building a resilient IT workforce, AI-driven cybersecurity for national and global challenges. So I hope that my sharing is just a sharing of my research, and with our groups can drive all the ideas, okay, to collaborate in the future events. Okay, this is the outline of my presentations or my key speech. Basically, it consists of the introductions, the role of AI and meta-heuristics in AI, and then just want to share our research works in meta-heuristics algorithms. Okay, and then we try to share also the hybrid strategy, which deep learning and machine learning. And then I would like to touch about the emerging algorithms that can be said that the rival of the deep learning or neural networks. This we call chromograph unknown networks. And then the recent one, since when we we deal with the meta heuristics because this is a population base. So what happened is when the problem is in terms of the processing of the learning process require a very large time consuming. So we tend to make from the population to the single agent searching. So we try to propose a new approach. We call it cognitive perturbation search. This is our recent approach, and we try to look at the beyond engineering. Okay, as introduction, as we know that artificial intelligence, we know it's a foundation of predictive problems or predictive analytics. So when we talk about the AI, normally we will talk about the artificial neural networks. So basically we model the nonlinear of input-outputs relationships. However, in order to make sure that the neural network works well in particular problem, so basically we need to do some tuning, fine-tuning in terms of the parameters, such as the number of hidden layers and neurons, learning rates and iteration functions, and then weight initialization, batch size and regularizations. So we try to make sure that our research to look at the different angles. So we want to embed the meta heuristic into the neural networks. Okay, so basically we try to do some fine tuning in terms of, instead of we do the fine tune of the normal or regularization parameters, so we try to take some different of view, which is we try to do the optimizing the weight and bias by using our meta heuristic approach. So basically why? Because the gradient-based methods may get trapped in local optima. So depending on the initializations, okay, and then so we try to do the meta heuristic algorithms, which can be flexible search strategies because these are based on the population too. So what we have done is we do the meta heuristic approach as a role in terms of optimizing the weight and bias. Okay, so basically meta heuristic solve the complex nonlinear optimization problems. And then normally when we do the parameter, we do meta heuristic to solve the hyperparameter tuning such as learning rate, batch size, etc. But we try to look at another angle. So our research extends the use of optimizers for training neural networks. So what we do is we try to embed directly the meta heuristic into the weight and bias of the neural networks. Okay, instead of using the gradient descent. So it provides a global search capability and avoid the local minima, and it also improve the convergence stability and generalization performance. However, we know that when we deal with the AI as well as the deep learning, so it depending on the problem that we have. So that's why there is come up with the no free lunch theorem, that as we know that each need to be treated separately and they need to be handled separately in order to get the best results. So basically there is a lot of nature inspired algorithms. So it starts from, I think from the World War II, and then they go for the genetic algorithms, one of the well-known approach of the meta heuristic. And then we also have the particle swap optimization that boomed in 1995. Okay. Also the end colony optimization, that all mimics all the nature inspired algorithms. Okay. And then the researchers, especially the computer scientists, they tend to make a new algorithm to enrich the area So they try a lot of the list there. So we have the teaching learning list optimization that mimic the teaching and learning in class in order to get the optimization solving problem. And then in terms of chemical, so we have hand gas solubility optimization, and then the mathematics approach that call arithmetic optimization algorithms. And then for the physics base, we have gravitational search algorithm. So the bottom two is our works that is based on the nature. The first one is the Barnacle's semantic optimizers that is created by our group in 2018, and the paper published in 2020 in engineering application of AI. And then the recent one is the evolutionary metric algorithm published in 2021. So that are our approach to join the race of introducing the meta-heuristic algorithms. So let's so the meta-heuristic algorithm, this is our we call it our baby. We have we propose two algorithms. So basically this is our works. The first one is the Barnacle's semantic optimizer that mimic the Barnacle's nature. Okay. And then we extend the problem. We call it evolutionary mapping algorithms. Okay, Barnacle Mapping Optimizer (BMO) is inspired by the mating behaviors of barnacles in tight environments, and it proved that it excels in exploration and global search. While for the evolutionary mapping algorithm, it mimics the natural selection and mating strategy, also can get the best in terms of the exploitation and convergence capability. So this is the publication of the barnacles in the application of artificial intelligence. Okay, in 2020, the idea. Basically, the idea is based on the how the barnacles mate. Okay, barnacles is the special microorganism that sometimes they call it a biofouling in the because they make when they contact with the microorganism, they will create the colony that will become problems to the ships, rocks, and they're related to the sea. Okay. Okay. We take the idea because barnacles is hermaphroditic microorganisms, meaning that it has two parts of the reproductive systems. So we have male and female parts. However, there is it have the longest organs for the reproductive in animal kingdom. So we use the exploitation approach where within the range of the organs we mimic to exploitation process, and then barnacles also can have we call it sperm cast in order to produce the offspring. Okay. So when it's out of range, we treat it as the exploration problem. I'm not sure whether the video is okay. This is the videos. So how the barnacles in the sea looking for the mate. As we can see here, there is the reproductive organs is quite long in the animal kingdom. It's 7 to 8 times of its size, body size. So from here we try to mimic, and then we model in terms of how we can adapt into the optimization problems. Okay, as we can see there, that the longest of the organs to go for the mating, and in order to, of course, it will take some time. However, it becomes the problem when we have ships that when the barnacles has been attached, because okay, that is another part of our initial studies that we want to explore, because barnacles also have the very good characters in terms of attaching to the others. Okay, this is the concept, and then we try to move for the evolutionary mapping algorithm. Basically, what we want to do is we want to improve the algorithms. However, instead of improving, so we find that some mating theory that had been published previously, so that we can embed and adapt into our algorithms. So this is the publication in 2021. So this is our groups, and then we do the collaboration with the prolific researchers in meta-heuristics. That is Prof. Said Alimijali from the Torrance University. So basically, the meta-heuristics using the concept of mating and looking at the impact of the environment also. So this because we refer to the algorithms that mimics the nature, so we need to model it so that we can get the good results, and then we implement it in the real system. Okay, so the MR basically is based on the random mating. We refer to the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, and then we use the crossover index operator to generate offspring. And then we incorporate also the environmental factor, such as predictor effects as explanatory mechanism. So what we do, now we have implement the meta-heuristic approach. So what we want to extend is we want to do some improvement of the deep learning, how we can embed the meta-heuristic into the deep learning or machine learning. So we have made some numerous of the publications, numerous of research related. So basically we have implemented into our system. So we have renewable energy for solar, PV and wind power generation prediction. We also have used the meta-heuristic as the feature selection. This is one of the approach that we can do in order, instead of we just using the simple feature selection approach, the normal, so we implement the meta-heuristic approach. And then we also have, we hybrid with the other machine learning, such as cat boost. So we implement into the battery. So become nowadays the battery is well known. The EV, especially in Malaysia, is very, because we have the incentive for the government for those who are planning to buy a new car. So they propose go for EV. So the problem for EV is about the battery. So we need to do the exact prediction in terms of the state of charge estimation. Okay, and then we also have implement it into the building system, energy system. So we implement into the chiller power consumption. And then later I want to talk about the imaging machine learning, as well as sharing with what happened in we have in the UMP. Okay, so the approach that we propose is we do the optimizing the weight and bias of the neural networks. We use the meta-heuristic approach. So this is the idea. I think now become norm, and I think there is a lot of people try to get in touch in this area. So I would like to share that we have done in the solar photovoltaic forecasting. So basically, we try to use the meta-heuristic and deep learning in order to get the good prediction accuracy for the power generation. Okay, we have published in one of the journals. So this is the idea. This is Energy NI. We published. We have the data. I think for about. Because sometimes we have this data is we have a small data, so we need to deal whether we have the large data as well as the small data. So we try to make sure that our approach can cope for the small as well as for the larger data. So this is the idea. Okay, so normally we use Adam, or we use the gradient descent approach to optimize the weight and bias. So for this approach, we use the EMA to directly tune the weight by using the meta-heuristics approach in order to get the accurate predictions. Of course, the error is similar. We use the MSE as a guidance. Okay. So for this one, we have ambient temperature, molar temperature, and radiations. So as inputs, and the AC power generation as the outputs. Okay. So basically, we can extend into the how we can determine the meaning. We can do the combinatorial of the problems instead of continuous numbers. We can also embed with the others, meaning we try to use the discrete number such as a neuron. So however we do it for this project, we do it in terms of experimentally. So we find that the hidden neuron equals to 5. We get the good results compared to the others. Okay, of course, when we do the meta-heuristic, we need to plot the convergent curves. So we compare our performance with other well-known approach such as differential evolutions, as well as our own algorithms, PSO and harmony search algorithms. So basically we can get the good results. Even though from this particular result we get the PSO in terms of this one is in terms of trainings for the 250 epochs for iterations, and MSE as the objective functions, minimizing the mean square error. Okay, this is the prediction comparisons. So of course, we also compare with the others, like such as the Adam, original, and the non-regressive NACs. So, and then we also want to prove that our approach can be implemented not only for the solar, so we implement into the wind power forecasting. So this time, because wind also is quite interesting, because the wind variability makes forecasting challenging. Okay, so we try to use the AI to capture the nonlinear relations to improve the grid stability and the integrations. So for this particular project, we have published, but we try to look at another angle. We use the meta-heuristic as the feature selector. Okay. So we publish in the grid energy system. Okay, this one we instead of we use the meta-heuristic as to tune the weight and bias, but now we treat the problem as the numbers, in terms of numbers. So we want to select the inputs. So meta-heuristic as the selector to be fit into the neural networks, and then we try to predict the real power output. Okay, this is the testing. Because we know we need to have the historical data, so we use training and testing for the performance analysis. So surprisingly, for this particular research, GA is outperform ours. So meaning that this is the beauty of no free lunch theorem. So sometimes our algorithms perform well, sometimes not so well. Okay. So that's why GA still sometimes can become one of the prominent approach compared to the new recent optimization. And then we try to do for the cooling load prediction problems. Okay, this time we publish in the Engineering Research Express. We hybrid our approach with the neural network to predict the cooling load in building engineering, building energy system. So for this particular problem, we have 17 input features, and then similar from the previous examples, we use the BMO to optimize weight and bias. Okay. Similarly, we compare with this is the convergence curve, compare with all other approach. Okay, this is we do the testing, we do plotting the actual and predicted. This one for the BMO. this is the result of actual and predicted. Okay, and then so this is compared side by side from our approach as well as normally we tune by the Adam for the weight and bias updated in pink. Okay, so basically we can get comparable results. And also now we extend the research with our approach similar with the previous one. We try to do some feature selection optimization. So now again we try to use EMA. This time we use EMA. So we have published in Journal of Building Engineering. Okay. So basically in chiller problem, chiller power generation. So basically for this particular data we have 8 features. So again the metallistic as the selector that fit into the neural network to predict the chiller power consumption. Okay, so this is as the results. I think in detail you can get in the paper, so it's not so clear here. But we can say that using the when we do the hybrid, the result is better compared to others. Of course, again we need to do some plotting of the convergence curve. So sometimes the result into the training, sometimes the others approach better, but at the end of the day we try to look at the testing. So this is the result that we predict. We can get, I think, the R square around 0.9 something. Okay, so the error is quite small, but you can see here the plotting of the actual and the predicted. Okay, and we try to expand our approach to others machine learning. So we try to now we do the battery state of charge that we include the cat boost also. So basically this one we just simple because we just want to try to jump into the battery state of charge estimation. So we hybrid the barnacles with the cat boost. Okay. So we have, I think we have several data. This is the real data from the i3 BMW. So we can get the data from the IEEE Explore data sets. So we do some optimizing. Okay, and then we can get, we use the hybrid, the metallistic as the optimizer to optimize the parameters of the cat boost. So basically this is combinatorial of the parameters. So we have continuous as well as the round numbers to do the prediction. Okay, so and then we plot for the actual result. This is the state of charge in terms of percentage. Charge, discharge, charge, discharge. So actually, of course, we have an error there. So it can be future improved. Again, so we need to do some convergence curve analysis. So we can see that here for this case we get the better results compared to others because it's quite time consuming because we deal with the millions data. Because when we do the state of charge, we deal with the seconds, in terms of seconds, the data in seconds. Okay. Also, we try to before we try to use the BMO. Now we use the EMA. So this one we publish in Energy. So the idea is similar. We use EMA to optimize the weight and bias for the neural network. Okay, similar idea. So the idea is similar. So we just use the EMA to optimize the weight and bias. I think this is the similar data from the previous one. So we just exploit all the data with the approach. So as you can see here, we compare also with the Adam. Okay, so this is the result. I think this is the first project that we done before we do the barnacle. So the result here can be improved, further improved. As you can see here that the data is in terms of I think it's hundred thousands of times in terms of seconds. Okay, and then we compare side by side. This one is request by the review of the paper. They are asked to compare the side by side. I know this is quite is different to distinguish the approach. However, for those who are interested, can be look at the paper. So now we try to look at the emerging architecture. So basically, what I think around last year, this I think the computer science community, this approach become boom due to the researchers from the MIT. Okay, Jimmy Liu that has been proposed the Kolmogorov-Arnold networks. Okay, basically it's inspired by the Kolmogorov-Arnold representation theorem. We state that any multivariate continuous function can be represented as combination of univariate functions. So basically, and then they compare it side by side with the neural networks. So I think this is just emerging, but nowadays I think there is a numbers of publications have emerged based on the Kolmogorov. I think there is a lot of variants that has been implemented. So this is the comparison side by side of the multi-layer perceptrons neural networks compared to the Kolmogorov. So what I do is when we look at this approach, so I try to look at the algorithms, and then since we have the data sets, a lot of data sets that we have done previously, so what we do, we try to play around with the algorithms, because we can get we try to look at how well the Kolmogorov can be used to compare with the neural networks. Okay. So, but what we do, this is our early results based on this imaging approach. So we have tried, of course, we tried with the state of charge estimation because we have the data. And then we try to look at for the chiller power consumption. And then we try again with the wind power energy forecasting. So all this works just replicate from the data that we have done, we have get. So alhamdulillah we get published in energy for this one. We try to implement similar approach, but now we use the Kolmogorov network. Surprisingly, for this particular case, the neural networks, the Kolmogorov or KAN, well compared to the neural networks. Okay. And then also we are able to publish in chiller consumption predictions in the commercial readings. We use the Kolmogorov networks. And then finally we are able to publish in the Engineering Express that used for the wind power generations. So as you can see that basically what I do is more on applying when the new algorithms come out, we try to test first with our testbed data. Okay, so next, basically this result show that GAN has a strong potential to complement or sometimes or even outperform conventional deep learning models in terms of both performance and explainability, especially when we hybrid. So next, this is my planning to try to do some hybridization. Okay. So based on my presentation until now, you can see that if we use the meta heuristic, it requires a significant computational effort. So because due to the budget constraints, so I'm just using my simulation using my laptop only. So we don't have any supercomputer, so it's quite time consuming. It takes a day to run the similar data, because the data consists of the millions, thousands and millions. So and then it may slow down the learning process, and then it scalability issues with the high dimensional problems. So when we have the high dimensional problems, it require more time to produce, to compute the training process only. So this also the comments that I get from the way we submitting our paper to the Q1 journals. So they said that when you hybrid with the meta heuristic, what happens is it will be time consuming, because the meta heuristic is based on population base. So let's say we have 30 populations. So you run 30 times, let's say we want 100 iterations or 100 epochs. So we consume and then we have the large data, so we consume time consuming. It's very time consuming. So what happened is it's become when we discuss in our groups. So now the people said that yeah, metallistic is good, but time consuming. So at the end of the day, they're going back to the Adam, because the Adam is just, even though the data is millions, so we have Adam, is the result quite acceptable. So that is become our new idea that we try to propose. Instead of population based, we try to propose the single base agents to cater of the computational problem. Okay, so and then we hope that our approach also that mimics the real or the nature. Not nowadays, I believe that you all know the word of the metaphor, right? The metaphor for the algorithms. That's why there is a lot when people producing or implementing the new algorithms, they categorize it as the metaphor. In fact, Banagos also, when we submit to some journals, they will reject it straight away because they say this is metaphor algorithms. So what we try to do now is we propose a new approach that is single agent that mimics the nature. Now we mimic the cognitive in terms of our brain, but it is single agent without population base. So what happened is we try to lower the computational burden. So we call it, the name of our approach is a cognitive perturbation search. If you search, it's not yet published because we just sent to the conference only. We sent to the conference for I think in December in Osaka for the conference to be presented. The paper has been accepted but not yet published in IUPE since the conference is not yet started. So also we try to approach using the single agent adaptive optimization algorithm, and it based on the memory search mechanism. Try to reinforce the effective perturbation that can balance with the exploration and exploitations. So when we said about the algorithms, we said about the optimization cannot be left about the exploration and exploitation. So basically, these are the steps of to optimize using the CPS, cognitive perturbation search. So start with the initialization. Of course, we start with initialization, but now the initialization is the single agent. Instead of a population base, we use the single base. And then we try to do some perturbation, and then we do the some optimization, we evaluate, but now we use the memory to update. Okay? So if the result is not good, they will keep it as a memory. If not, they will update every time they will find a new good results. Okay? And then we use the step size to decay as well as, and then at the end we try to do the distribution based on the maximum iterations. So of course, when we try to produce a new approach, we need to compare with the conventional. We need to compare for the benchmark. Okay? So what we do is we do the benchmarks comparisons. Okay, we try to do this is the common when you do optimization. We do the benchmark functions, sphere, Rosenblock, and Rasmussen. So the results is okay. We can get good results, but as we can see there is a single agent, so it faster compared to the meta heuristics population based. Of course, when we try to compare with the best, we compare with the Adam. So what we do next, we implement this CPS into the neural network for the updating the weight and bias using for the standard problem, which is the XOR classification. And then in order to show that our approach, the new approach is better compared to others, we need also to test into the real problem. As I said previously, we have the chiller data, so we implement it in the chiller data problem. Okay, and then we compare with the best, the Adam optimizer. Of course, it's the best now. Now everybody uses the Adam, so we try to beat them in order to get published. So this is the XO classification. So you can see that the blue color is the CPS loss because it is based on the cognitive. We have the memory updating. So and then we compare with the black one is the Adam. Okay, and then we compare also with the lovable markup as well as others, backpropagation and so on and so forth. So we can see that this is for the XOR. Of course, this is simple comparisons. Okay, for 300 iterations, you get the best results. And then to make sure that our approach is okay and then hopefully can be accepted by the community, we compare with the Adam, especially for the chiller prediction problem. Okay, so we can see here that we can get the better results in terms of RMSE, IME, max standard deviation as well as the R square. So we run I think more than 10 times about to get the big. Of course, depending on the initialization. So that's why we need to run several times in order to get the best, the average and the worst results. So you can see here that the result for the CPS can get the better. Okay, and then we plot, of course we need to plot the convergence curve, and then we plot side by side for the CPS and Adam and the error also. So as you can see here that for this particular problem, you can get good results. So of course, again, it's a no free lunch theorem. Okay, so sometimes CPS can perform well in here. So maybe when we implement to the other fields, become problems, cannot get good results. Okay. So the current challenge, so basically is what? In the model development is the model interpretability, and then parameter selections, and then one of the problems is the real-time deployment. So this is the challenge. Okay. And then also the data quality and availability. Of course, nowadays the data now is very important in terms of research. Of course, nowadays all the major publisher, they offer we submit also our data. In fact, we have a Kaggle, we have IEEE data port, we have the Mendeley data port. That we can share our data. So now the data is very. In fact, there is a journal. We have in-brief data and so on and so forth to encourage people to send their data. Okay. Because now very when the data is more available to the world. So what I can see that is from this research, you can see that there is a interdisciplinary collaborations. Okay, basically for those for coming here, it might be quite not believe because I'm from the electrical engineering. Okay, I'm from the power system engineering. But what I do, I think the previous 10 to 15 years, evolving into the AI. So what? In fact, I'm teaching for the master level for the AI in power system applications. So when we go for the AI, so I fell in love with the AI. So that's why now the power system quite saturated already. So what we can do is we explore more on AI and optimization, and then we can jump to any area. In fact, can be jumped to the education, teaching, and learning, and so on and so forth. Not only for the power system or engineering problems. Okay. So this is our idea to hybrid AI and optimization methods. And then we expanding application to new domains. So what I can do now is I can jump to, even though I'm from the electrical engineering, okay, I can jump into the chemical engineering. Basically, I think the past 2 months I have a keynote speech session with the chemical, even though I'm from the electrical. So what I do, they want me to give the insight of the AI because I'm exploring more on AI. And have been introduced or inventing the new algorithms. So I can say that yes, I can jump to do any area, but I need someone to help me because the core problem is yours, it's not me. Okay, so that's why I can do collaboration with many areas. So I can jump to mechanical, I can jump to chemical, I can jump to others. Of course, I have a good foundation of a group, so we have from electrical as well as computer scientists. So my wife is from the computer. Okay. So basically, it's beyond engineering. So what we can do, there is nowadays become the trend or become the in trend in terms of the anomaly detection. Not only for the engineering, so anything. So the threat related to cybersecurity. Frankly speaking, I'm not yet jump into the cybersecurity, but I believe when we have good teammates, we have good collaboration, so we can do something with the field. Okay, and then toward resilient and adaptive AI systems. Hopefully we can do some collaboration, we can get the new ideas in terms of how we can shape our new knowledge. Right now, ChatGPT is become available. The generative AI become norm, not for us, to our students, to our child, right, to our children also. Now the student, our child, my daughter always just take the picture of the problem from the secondary school and then pass to the ChatGPT to solve them. So there is some challenging for us. Okay. So before I end, I'd like to share my faculty, even though we are from the electronics engineering. So basically, we have 3 research clusters. I can say that each research cluster, all of them have research in AI. Okay, so we have applied electronics and computer engineering research cluster that consists of 3 groups. So we have 3 research groups in applied electronics, computational system intelligence, and wireless computation networks. And then we have we call it super sustainable energy and power engineering research cluster, where I come from. So we deal with the energy as well as the power electronics. And then we have also the controls cluster. So we have the advanced sensing, neurology and sensing, and we have the robotics. So if you look at my publication also, I have some publication in robotics that I collaborate with my friends here. And also we have the teaching, and because we have lecturers that very patient in teaching and learning in terms of since we have the COVID outbreak, right? So we have teaching and learning is online. So what happened is there's a lot of new inventions, okay, to do the pedagogy and so on and so forth. So we have some dedicated lecturer there. In fact, one of our lecturer is, I think, he gained recognition in national levels from Malaysia. Okay, and then of course in our campus. So what we do now, I think each building in our campus we have solar. So we have retrofitted PV solar. And then one of our advantage is we have, because we in the UMPSA, if you all welcome you to come to our campus. In Tukang, we have 2 campus, Tukang and Gambang. So in Tukang we have a numerous lake. So what we do, we install the floating PV. So what happened is, when we have our own data, so what we can do many things. So what I do is I request for the data from our team, and then try to do some simulations, and then we're able to publish. Okay. So this is our publication in engineering building engineering, because we have the retrofitted system, so we can just using the simple machine learning and do some comparisons. Okay, and then also we have published in floating photovoltaic, FPV. So this is the real data from our campus. Okay, I think this one is the recent one. This year publication, we try to do some idea, prediction of our floating photovoltaic, because now our FPV is 1 year commissioning. So what we need to do is to do some prediction for the future. So that's the studies is carried out. Okay, finally, this is my PhD student doing it for the FPV hybrid, the teaching learning based approach with the extreme learning machine. So because we have a lot of machine learning approach, we can utilize everything. So and then I think this is the final one. Okay, this is the published in clean energy. We improve the meta-heuristic approach. Okay, I think that's all for my keynote speech. I hope that you enjoy and can be benefited to everybody. Okay, this is basically humbly for me to share my research, our research that that can open for the collaboration for the future. I think with that, I think that's all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Any question and answer?
Thank you so much, Professor Herwan, for such an amazing presentation. We have now time for a Q&A or question and answer. If you have any question, please raise your hand. We have one over there, two, no one? Okay. We have two questions.
Okay, sure. Sure.
I'm sorry, my voice may be not clear for you, but I hope you can understand what I say to you. Look, some days ago, I read newspaper that say about GDP in Asia, you know, and their papers say Indonesia have the biggest GDP for these years. But other side, I have read some news about your GDP in Malaysia. I want to say, in Malaysia government have did something, maybe many something in ICT for make growth GDP. And I don't know, but in Indonesian, my president Apticom, Professor Uco, Professor Eko Indrajit, including Professor Benny, say to me, say to the member of Apticom, he said that ICT in Indonesian have not make significant contribution to GDP Indonesian. So, could you explain to me how and what the government Malaysian did to make ICT make contribution to the GDP? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, I can answer. Okay. Thank you for the question. I think it's more on the national levels. Okay, first of all, if you remember that when now current our Prime Minister, Anwar Ibrahim, right, Prime Minister, we call it PMX. So the first thing that when he step up as a PM, so of course he know that the AI and ICT is very big. So what he do is I can say in terms of as a lecturer, from the lecturer from the University of Civil University. Okay. So what he do is, I think we have representative from the UTM. So he create one faculty, they call it Faculty of AI, that awarded to the UTM. I think he give more than 5 million RM to create the faculty to attract the investors. Okay, and then AI also, when it's not just about the software, it's also related to the GPU and so on and so forth. So, of course, it will relate to the semiconductor. Now, I think in Kedah, we have Infineon. We have, I think they try to take all the initiative in terms of investing into the semiconductor also. So, of course, I'm from the UMP, I think, because what happened is he's create the Faculty of AI. So we wish also our university also have a AI faculty, emphasizing the FAI, artificial intelligence. So that is, I think, the first step that our PMX do in order to increase the GDP as well as to attract for the. And then I think more on, I believe, in terms of AI as well as the cybersecurity is very, very. Before this, I think the initiative from the Tun Dr. Mahathir, we have the Cyberjaya. I think for those, especially for Dr. Yusof, you are in Malaysia for 30 years, right? So there we have the Cyberjaya. We have, I think, previously we have Putrajaya and Cyberjaya to cater all the cybersecurity. So of course, when we changes of the political leaders, the strategy is different. So I hope, and when I read about the Indonesia, of course, you have the more in terms of the population base. You have I think 100 millions people compared to us. We have only 37 somethings people. So I think that's the age that you can, I think, can and go for to get the more on the GDP. I hope that this answering your question, because that basically is not my area. Okay, thank you. Other question?
We have a second question over there. Yeah.
Okay, good morning, Professor Sulaiman. My name is Martin, and first of all, it's really amazing research by you, that because not many researchers doing the meta heuristic, developing optimizer, while the others just implementing and developing a model. And one question that I would like to ask is, I was curious how, if this meta heuristic optimizer could be applied to other kind of data, such as like computer vision, image, or even text, because what you present earlier is the data more like a data that the feature that has been extracted before, like you give a preview that 7 features of data.
Yeah, correct.
It's not a sparse data that hard to extract the feature. And I'm really curious how this meta heuristic optimizer can be works for like CNN-based models, or like transformers, or even like the recent one, Mamba, which, yeah, that's really make me curious. And the other thing is, you mentioned like most of the people, most of the developer or model development nowadays using the ADAM optimizer, or any ADAM White, Nestrov ADAM, and other ADAM. But what I did on my PhD, Professor Sulaiman, that Lion, an optimizer named Lion in 2024, is beat all of the ADAM optimizer, which I also prove that this Lion optimizer, for my case, is multi-channel biological signals data, is achieving faster convergence compared to all of ADAM optimizer. And it's also make me curious, the final benchmark based on your research, how you can compete ADAM and even Lion in the future. Thank you.
Okay,
Professor.
thank you for the question. It's an interesting question. Basically, as I said previously, what meta heuristic, yes, it can become a powerful. So since we have the no free lunch theorem, so that's why we need to treat the problem independently. Of course, we can use in the image also, but I think, yeah, that require very supercomputer to do. Nowadays they don't do the image processing, right? They just dump all the videos into the GPU. You have a very good GPU, they can get good results. Yes, that is the challenging for me, because what I do is I don't have the opportunity to get the supercomputer. So what I can say that I can just deal with the architecture. Okay, we play around with the architecture. We play around with of course, we play around with the neural networks, and we have implemented the support vector machine and other so on. But yes, of course, we can do. Yeah, we also have, basically I have paper that we do optimizing the problem with the CNN LSTM. That is a common. I think it's a common groundwork that have been done to do the prediction problems, or do any classification problems. So, but I believe, yeah, this is open up for the opportunity. Since I said previously, there is no free lunch theorem, so we need to treat the problems separately in order to make sure that we can, of course, we can do collaboration, inshallah. Okay, I hope that is answering your question.
Thank you. If you okay for one more question?
Okay,
Professor?
please.
One more question, maybe? We still have time for one more. Okay.
Thank you, sir. I'm the Dean of College of Technology and Engineering in National Taiwan Normal University in Taiwan. And I think I'm very impressed with your excellent works, especially you combine the meta-heuristic algorithms with the energies, or or building or any other kinds of fields that you proposed.
Yep.
So my question, because I'm doing the similar research with you, and I use the meta-heuristic optimization algorithms in energies or in electric vehicles or in hybrid vehicles for the energy management. So my question, the first question is that because just like I use the PSO, WOA, ACO, or BFA, or BS, etc., can you separate it, the meta-heuristic algorithms into different categories?
Yes.
So, for example, if I want to decrease the local optimization problem, so I choose some kinds of algorithms, or if I want to reduce the computational burden, so I use some kind of algorithms. So what's your opinion? The second question is that because you estimate the state of charge of the battery, have you considered about the state of health, which I mean is the life cycle, because it will decrease the electric capacity? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, for the first question, yeah, of course, it's my mistake. Basically, I hope that what I do is normally for the meta-heuristic, normally I will do all the categories. So as just give all the things. Yeah, of course, our approach is, we call it the evolutionary approach. So meaning that produce a new offspring. So the problem of we produce a new offspring, the population become bigger, normally become double, like GA, right? GA, DE, and so on and so forth. So that is the population base. We also have the swarm base, like you said, the PSO, particle swarm optimization. I think it's boom in 1995. I think a lot of research has been done. Then a lot of the variants has been done. They call it EPSO and so on and so forth. So basically, yes. But again, I like to mention, since in the meta-heuristic, in optimization, normally the term of no free lunch theorem is very, very powerful. Right. So yeah, of course, people say there's a generic term. Of course, this is a generic term. Sometimes we can, because this is my experience. I've done my algorithm testing into the power systems to predict, to do some optimization, let's say for the economic dispatch problem. I can get good results. However, if I want to use the discrete problem, meaning that we just want to do this, like the one that I've presented. We want to select the features. We select the features, right? We use the meta-heuristic. So my algorithm is lost to the bit GA. In fact, lost to the GA. So that is the proof that even though that the area sometimes can get good results if using the algorithm like PSO and so on and so forth. But when we try to another area, you can get the worst results. Sometimes it can give the worst results. Okay. To answer for your second question, yes. Basically, as I said, we have expert in EV, but we try to turn our research into the state of health also. But because for me, I still not get in terms of the fundamentally. So normally when I jump to another area, I want to know the fundamental problems. So that's why for the state of health, I tend to, yes, I just not yet capture the performance compared to the state of charge, because that's very direct, right? State of health, of course, they play around with the number of cycles and so on and so forth. So that's one. Yeah, our groups try to look at for the research also. So it can be done, inshallah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Please give a big applause for our keynote speaker. So unfortunately, we finally reached our end of session of the keynote speaker. Before closing this session, let me briefly highlight a few key takeaways. There are three. First, meta-heuristic improve AI optimization and learning efficiency. Second, hybrid model boosts accuracy in energy and prediction tasks. And third, KAN and CPS drive adaptive and explainable AI system. I hope this keynote session will inspire us for further collaboration and discussion. Thank you again. And I will hand over the session to the Master of Ceremony. Okay. Thanks again.
Thank you very much.
A big applause again for our special keynote speaker.
Okay, thank you so much for Mr. Hafiz and also keynote speaker. For right now, it's about photo session.
gentlemen, let us move to the next session, which is parallel session. We kindly invite to all the participants to proceed directly to the parallel session, which will take place in the designated room. For virtual participants, please join the breakout room as indicated in the conference schedule. Please check your conference booklet or schedule for your assigned room.
Person in charge for parallel sessions are on site track 1 will be at Kaukus room with Devi Gustani MPD and also Askari Muhammad. On site track 2 will be at Glossarium room with Septika Arianti MPD and also Intan Nuljana. On site track 3 will be at Rensra room with Martin C. Timanulang PhD and also Bintang Patra.
Person in charge for online parallel session. Virtual track 1, Iwayan Wiprayoga Wisesa MCom and Anazwa Novia Zahara. Virtual track 5, Kodli Jafar Adrian MIT and Fadila Marwa. Virtual track 6, Dr. Rahmat Indra Borman and Satria Aji Saputra. Virtual track 7, Dr. Amarudin MH and Lidianti Haryani. Virtual track 8, Dr. Erlian Reddy Susanto and Rena Revalina. Virtual track 9, Yuri Rahmanto MCom and Andi Yasinta Prilly.
Okay. Virtual track 10, Helino Nanang MT, PhD, and Haris Helmi Al Muyassar. Virtual track 11, Muhammad Sobri MCom, PhD, with Bhakti Halaza. Virtual track 12, Sinta Octaviana and Raga Saputra. Virtual track 13, Professor Dr. and Senior Henry MCom with Muhammad Nailul Farid. And ladies and gentlemen, and with that we officially conclude this session. Thank you everyone for being with us today. And you may go to the outside room because we will take a coffee break for 15 minutes. And then you can continue based on the room we have announced. Okay, everyone, you may go to outside because the coffee break will be on there. Okay, we announce once more the times for a coffee break only 15 minutes, and then after that you may join room based on the room that we have announced. Don't forget to bring your voucher because coffee break only facilitated if you bring the voucher. For everyone, once more, everybody should bring the voucher because the coffee break only facilitate for the people who brings the voucher. Okay. Please, for the photographer, please come forward because some our guests. Yeah, thank you. Photo session. Okay, the guests from Taiwan and also from Malaysia, our keynote speaker, and with our member of Apticom install will take a picture. Okay. Okay. For those who want to join in this session, you may come forward. Okay. Okay, move. Okay, over here. Okay, in 3. Okay. This side, please. One people. Okay. We may move over here. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. With thumbs up. Okay, thumbs up. Okay. Okay, Apticom. Apticom Jaya. Okay. Jaya. Jaya. Okay. For another, once more. Oh yeah. Once more. Don't go anyway because the photo session. The photo session will be taken by the phone camera. Okay, thumbs up. Jaya. Oh, once again with another phone, yeah, with another phone. Okay. The committee is very important for us because it is will helping us. Three, two, one, go. 3, 2, 1, go. Wait for another camera, another phone, another phone. Okay. Ay, bantu aja. Pakai apa siapa ini? Tiga. Okay. Another presenters or participants who want to join, maybe you can come forward to take a picture with our keynote speaker and also our guests from Taiwan. Yeah. Can you leave your word here? It's okay. Yeah. We'll be safe. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I will. Okay. You may go out for a coffee break.
Halo, Kak Mati. Halo. Halo.
Recording stop.